Hello everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of my vlog. Today I want to talk about something that's a little bit maybe controversial. I may get a little bit of backlash from this video, I realize that, but that's okay because I think it's very important, especially when you're doing something in a public way like this, to speak your mind and say what you really think. But anyway, today I want to talk about women versus women and fat on fat hate. The reason I want to talk about this is because I experienced something recently, not for the first time by any means, but it just kind of reiterated to me how sometimes other women can be our worst enemies, and not to assume that just because a woman is the same size as you or has the same issues as you that she is going to be your friend. Because a lot of women have their own issues and their own agendas, and you know, these things do rear their heads from time to time. We all know, you know, there's a lot of ignorance out there. There's all kinds of rude people saying ignorant, stupid, moronic things, and it's easy to dismiss that kind of bullshit. But when it comes from somebody who you consider yourself you know, a friend or somebody that you have something in common with, or you share a common bond about something, it does hurt when you receive the brunt of negativity from somebody who you would expect would be, you know, your friend. Let me tell you about this incident that happened to me recently. This was about a week or two ago. I posted a vlog on Facebook, and I got, you know, quite a few responses. Most of them were pretty positive. Some people disagreed with me, but there was this one woman in particular who not only did she disagree with me, but she kind of made her disagreeing with me a kind of a personal attack, and she was trying to twist my words and twist my meaning and sort of try to put a negative light on what I was doing. And that's happened to me on more than one occasion in the fat community or the size acceptance community, where I'll share a point of view that I have, and the reason that I'm sharing it is for a positive. I'm trying to make a positive impact with what I'm saying. I'm trying to encourage somebody or support somebody, or let them know that I have felt the same way that they have, and I understand the difficulties that people go through. And I think that's a very positive thing to do. But then some people, their reaction to you, you just know, they're saying that they disagree with what you're saying, but you can also get a very strong sense that there's more going on than meets the eye. There's something going on underneath that, you know, like, a disagreement doesn't warrant hostility and accusations and stuff like that. Like this woman that I was debating about my vlog, I mean, you know, I went back and forth with her a bit, and I voiced my opinion, she voiced hers, and, you know, I kind of thought, okay, enough, but she wouldn't let it go. She kept continuing and continuing and continuing, and trying to draw me into this extended, you know, debate with her, and I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. I knew I wasn't going to convince her of my point of view, and I just thought it was really pointless and hostile and nasty and mean, so I put an end to it, and that was that. But it's not the first time that that's happened to me, as I said, in the size acceptance community. I've voiced other opinions, and there's just certain women out there that just kind of have it in for you for whatever reason. Like, I don't know if it's they don't like the way you look, they don't like the way you talk, they don't like your point of view, they don't like the way you present yourself, there's something about your demeanor that they don't like. You know, it's just whatever it is, they don't like it, and they're going to let you know. And I think women are particularly good at that. Women are a lot more subtle than men are when it comes to expressing their dislike about something. You know, women aren't encouraged to be aggressively forceful in the way they present themselves. So we've kind of had to um, adapt kind of maybe circuitous ways of saying things, or gentler way, well, not gentle, that's not the right word, more kind of low-key ways of saying things, or craftier ways, or sneakier ways, or manipulative ways of saying something. And I've noticed that from, from childhood on. You see it in the playground at school when you're growing up, and you see it in high school. I should tell you this one story. It's a perfect example. I had this one friend in high school. Actually, I knew her in junior high, and we were both chubby back then in junior high. And when we got to high school, she was she lost a lot of weight, and she became quite slim and very attractive. And as soon as that happened, the whole dynamic of our relationship changed. I could tell that, she really got off on the power that she got from her sexuality and the way that she looked. And, she really considered herself superior to me in that way. And this one time, excuse me, this new guy came into our school, and he was a really cute, good-looking guy, and all the girls kind of, nice, I like that. We all noticed him, and, we all wanted to get to know him. And so me and her were talking about him one day, and she's like, I'm going to get him, and I'm like, oh, really, you are? And she's like, oh, yeah, I am. And I'm like, well, what if I wanted to get him? She's like, I'll bet you I get him before you do. And she was, I was just kind of joking around. I wasn't really serious about it. I mean, I thought the guy was cute. It would have been nice to get to know him, but I certainly wasn't going to kill myself for it. So, anyway, she made it a real contest and a real competition between us, and she was like, oh, I'm going to get him before you do. I said, whatever, go to town, do it, So anyway, I'd say within maybe a day or two, or a week at most, she ended up going with this guy. And I'll never forget the smirk and the sneer on her face whenever she saw me, especially when she was with him, she'd kind of pull him closer or whatever, just to kind of like, just to say to me, you see, I did get him. I'm better than you. You can't compete with me. There's that kind of dynamic going on with women a lot. And even in high school, as far as, getting friends, some girls would be so snobby and so cliquish and so elitist, like they wouldn't allow you into their circle because you didn't look right. You didn't look the part. Thank God for that, by the way. Thank you for all you bitches out there who snubbed me when I was in high school, because thank God I never wasted my time, on friendship with you. But at the time, it was pretty hurtful to be snubbed like that. And high school was certainly wasn't the end of that. I mean, in the workplace, it may be more kind of undercover, but there's still that kind of underlying assessment going on whenever you meet other women in the workplace. It's like, they look you up and down and they assess you and say, well, am I more attractive than her? Am I smaller than her? Do I have more friends than her? Am I more popular than her? That kind of thing. It's still a factor even when we're grown women, and it's really, really sad. I mean, we're all in the same team. We're all in this together. I mean, what's the point of just being nasty to each other? I just don't see the point of it. And even in size acceptance itself, in the size acceptance community, I've noticed that there is a kind of a hierarchy. And I've been doing my blog for a little over a year now. And, I'm new to this, I realize that. But I think I've, been doing it for long enough to kind of establish, maybe like a track record. People should pretty much know who I am. I have a lot of size acceptance friends on my friend list on Facebook. I might not know them personally, but they're on my friend list, and they see my blogs when I update my Facebook page. And I've noticed that there are some people in the size acceptance community who seem to get more recognition or accolades than others. And I wonder, is it, you're not political enough, you're not academic enough, maybe you don't look the right way, maybe you don't look like an activist. You know what I mean? It's confusing and it's irritating, and I'm not begrudging anybody their success or their popularity or their intellectual capabilities at all. I mean, I admire other size activists, but it's made me wonder, and in size acceptance also, and in the BBW community, there's different ranges of BBWs, right? There's the smaller and there's the larger. And I guess probably some of the smaller BBWs think they're better than the bigger BBWs because they're not as big. And then there's also the other end of the spectrum where you get the really large women who sort of, they kind of have a moral superiority about them, as if, well, I am like, this large, so, I should get this instantly, I should get this respect, I should command this respect. And, respect is not a given. You have to earn respect, and you have to conduct yourself in a certain way to get respect. And I just don't see it a lot of the time. And when I see the kind of like squabbling and the sniping and the petty remarks that go back and forth, it just irritates the hell out of me. I mean, why? Why does it go on? I don't know. And I also want to say in families too. I mean, women can be very, very hurtful. My mother, for example, she was always dieting when I was younger, and she hated being fat. And when she saw that I was gaining weight, she was constantly on me to go on a diet and monitoring what I ate and criticizing me for what I ate. And the one part of my body that I always really loved and felt comfortable with was my boobs, because I hate to brag, but I have gorgeous boobs. I always have, since I was like maybe 12 or 13 years old. I developed early. And I was always very proud of them and thought they were gorgeous, and I loved showing them off. So I would wear low-cut tops and tight tops and show them off. And my mother would make comments to me like, why do you have to show so much skin? And, why do you have to dress like that? Why do you have to show off your body like that? You look like a tramp and this and that. So even the parts of my body that I felt good about, she made me feel, bad about, and kind of gave me a complex. For many years, I felt conflicted about the kind of clothes that I wore, because whenever I wore something sexy, I thought, should I be wearing this? Do I look like a slut? Do I look like a tramp? Maybe my mother's right, blah, blah, blah. It's just really amazing how women can, get inside each other's psyches and kind of chip away at your confidence, or chip away at your at the way you feel about yourself. And I think it's really sad. I wish that people would be more upfront. Like I said, a lot of people have kind of their own agendas and their own issues, and just because you share maybe some issues in common does not mean that they are going to, love you or take to you or whatever. I've discovered that, and I just think it's sad. I wish it were different. But anyway, I hope that makes sense, what I was talking about today, because it is important. It's a complex issue. It's kind of complicated, and hard to discuss. I'm probably going to get some hate from this, but that's okay. Like I said, you're free to disagree with me. Just do it respectfully, and don't try to put words in my mouth. That's all I say. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic week. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, those of you who do read my blog and who do comment and who do let me know that you appreciate what I have to say, and that you enjoy what I have to say, and that you're getting something from it. I do it all for you. I love you all so much. I appreciate you like the utmost. You're the best. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Bye.